I have one take that I don't know if I want to walk back or not.
Wait. Can we start calling Eberflus the kidney stone fairy?
Yeah, he is. I bet you there are people listening to this right now who are going through the same thing as me. They're like,
they got kidney stones from watching the Commanders game.
Kidney stones in the last 10 days.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of that Hail Mary. I had a take yesterday, or I guess it came out today. I don't know if I want to walk back or not. Because I guess now there's point of no return. This was Tuesday before the trade deadline.
Why don't you try it out on us?
I said they should have traded DJ Moore.
Oh, no.
What do you think you would have gotten in return?
Probably a lot.
Such as?
Maybe not a first, but a high second, right? I just don't understand, and I like DJ Moore, the person. I think he's a phenomenal wide receiver. If it was just the game, the Cardinals game, like, all right, whatever. There has been smoke there all year. Yeah. There has been smoke there all year. He was the number one Justin Fields defender. He got paid, and he deserved to get paid. Mm-hmm. And I'll never, go after someone's money, but there is something off, and I don't know if it's like I feel like you got to cut it before it gets worse. And maybe he can fix it. Maybe they can fix it and come together. But there is something off right now, and I don't like it. It stinks.
Why would Ryan Poles sign him if there was a possibility of any sort of chemistry issues between his prized quarterback that he had just drafted and his number one receiver is his best move in the Carolina deal?
Okay, but so why are you asking why someone might act differently before they sign a big contract and then differently after?
But man, he doesn't seem to be that type of
I agree.
diva.
I agree. I don't think he is, but you have to admit there is
mysterious.
Something weird going on. And I listen, maybe that's overreacting by me. Like he could light it up the second half of the season, and I look like an idiot for saying that it was the time and place. But something is off, and if you don't admit that something's off, you're just burying your head in the sand.
You remember last year when, for whatever reason, Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney couldn't get on the same page.
Yeah.
Like for anything. And it wasn't like they didn't like each other. They worked out together in the offseason. They were actually very friendly. And we all said, like, when Darnell moves on, wherever he goes next, he'll be just fine. And he is just fine in Atlanta. I don't know how to describe, honestly, what is going on, but there is something
there.
off.
Yes.
Not only are they not on the same page, but DJ is playing with such a level of frustration that you can't tell me it's not affecting his level of play.
Right. And it's probably affecting Caleb, because if DJ's playing with frustration and he's not running the routes that, with 100% every time, just something's off, and pretending like it's nothing is foolish. And you know what? Maybe the answer is that it's the coaching staff, and I'll buy that, because that's a disaster on its own self. That feels like it's hit more than a crisis point, because I don't know about you guys, but that Cardinals game was worse to me than the Commanders game.
I said it all the last few days. That one stung me more than the Commander game.
The Commanders game was a gut punch. The Cardinals game was like hurt my soul, because it looked like a team that quit. It did.
Big Cat, let me say this. What if your kid said to you when you had the kidney stone? You would probably let them anyway, but you and your wife, you want to end this. You don't want to take him to the zoo now because you have the kidney stones.
By the way, I took him to the zoo later that day.
You took him?
Yeah, because I got the pain pills.
That's a dad. That's a great dad.
Wow.
Yeah,
what if they said then, Dad, just drop me off here. We're old enough. We're going to walk around. We're going to lead this excursion by ourselves. We don't need you.
I would say you're crazy because you're 5 years old.
Yeah,
my oldest
what are you
is 5.
looking? What are you looking them to do? Looking for them to do?
He can't. Like, I have to put on his shoes for him every morning, so I'm still wiping their butts.
Right, and he's the oldest, right?
Yeah, he's the oldest.
What are you doing the two younger ones?
And that's my point. So this Bears team is young. They're dumb. They've not won a thing. But Matt Eberflus has enabled them to be this player-led team, and they have a coach who doesn't know how to lead. Shane Waldron doesn't know how to lead.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be leading from the front with the players if you have Patrick Mahomes and you have all the great players that the Chiefs have. It's another thing if you're the Chicago freaking Bears and you haven't won for years. They're not equipped to be led from the front.
Yeah, I agree. It's just we said this too in the offseason.
Yes,
this is not revisionist history. I mean, I'm speaking to only Bears fans who are listening right now, but I have to say this when on Pardon My Take, because it's a national podcast, and people are like, oh, well, you wanted him. No, I wanted Jim Harbaugh. I was very clear. Yes. I made merch about it. And this is the same cycle that we've been in before with John Fox and Mitch Trubisky. John Fox gets fired, Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky, then Justin Fields and Matt Nagy gets fired. Like, it's so maddening.
We've done it 3 times now.
And it feels helpless. And I'm now officially concerned that everything that people were saying, like, oh, the Bears are going to ruin Caleb Williams, now I can't really argue against that.
You know where
it's a mess.
You know where it hurts the most to see your merch is in Sign Stealer on Netflix, which I thought was very good. There are many scenes with you guys at the Michigan game.
Yes.
And you've got all the Harbaugh to the Bears gear on.
Yes.
So, like, you can
Jim
see
Harbaugh
that
to
happen. Yeah.
Look at what the Chargers are doing right now.
5-3.
And what if they and are they the most talented roster? Their defense is phenomenal.
They had to completely disable their wide receiving core.
Yeah, they don't have wide receivers. What they do and what Jim Harbaugh does to an organization is he puts in a culture. And they go into every game with a game plan of here's our strengths, here's our weaknesses. This is how we have to attack this game. We know what we want to do, and we're going to do it really well. And if we lose a game to the Chiefs, well, we still are going to stick to our plan and not panic. And it just feels like we're the exact opposite, where there's no culture. Every game, the game plan doesn't really make sense, and you're just hoping that they can figure out a way through it. And it's just, I'm so sick of watching the Bears be outcoached. It happens every single week.
But they're going to do what they always do. They're going to bum slay this week, and they're going to beat the Pats by 23, and then you're going to be
so sure
then
about
you're
that.
going to be back on the.
I'm not so sure
about
about
that.
No,
leading
I'm not.
the bandwagon.
No,
we're
I'm
back.
not. No, I'm not. No. I've officially.
First quarter, we're back.
Yeah, we are back.
No, well, I will say
in all caps.
I will say the Bears are back, but I will not mean it because I'm sitting here right now and it's November 6th, and I'm telling you this season is over.
Get out. No, I'm joking.
You agree?
Well, I mean, they're not going to win
over.
anymore.
No, they're not going to get to the playoffs.
What if they win the next 3? They have a win streak at home going. Look, I don't think they're going anywhere either. But what if they win their next 3, Big Cat? Like, I'm bringing that clip back.
I'll reassess. So bring this part of the clip back. I will reassess. The situation remains fluid. But do you guys think right now that they're not a playoff team?
No.
In the NFC West, like that we spent the whole time being like, look at everyone else. Like the NFC West stinks. The NFC East, the Cowboys are down. The NFC South stinks. The NFC West has 4 teams that are better than us. And the Eagles and the Commanders are better than us. So and the Bucks are better than us. Where do we fit in?
Where do we fit in?
We don't. And it's just so maddening.
Waddle, let me play the DJ Moore soundbite about where he explains going out of bounds. I know most of our audience didn't hear it, but I'm not sure if Big Cat heard it. This was DJ a little while ago at the podium explaining why he went out of bounds during the play. And then not only did he go out of bounds and leave the play, but then he sat down on the bench. It went viral. Chris Long took shots at him. So did Gronk. Big Cat went on and said that he would trade him. This was before the trade deadline.
Yes.
So
I wouldn't cut him. I would not cut him.
Well, he's got value.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't cut him. Yeah. I'm just saying that I want that on the record. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't cut him.
A rational take there.
Yeah.
Here's DJ.
In a pretty bright spot on the play where you ran out of bounds during scramble drills last week. What's your kind of account of what happened on that sequence?
Tweaked ankle. I was coming back because I seen Caleb scrambling and ankle went in and out. I was already couldn't stop, so my momentum took me out of bounds, and then I just walked off. Which the noise, I hear it, seeing it, really didn't care. So it is what it is.
Do you understand why people saw that as a bad look?
I mean, they could take it how they want to, which they did, and without even knowing what happened mid-play. So, I mean, can't stop y'all from doing what y'all want to do.
So you were hurting?
Yeah, the initial roll of the ankle was hurting bad. So that's why I hobbled off and sat down, and then I came back in and was kind of like, how you say it? I don't know. Reindeering? I don't know. Whatever it's called, however you do it, just down the middle of the field. But, I mean, I didn't stop playing the game. Like, I didn't not go back in the game. That's what it was.
Did you fight through the injury, or did it just clear up right?
No, I didn't clear up right away. I was doing a bunch of stuff on the sideline to keep me going throughout the game, so that's what kept me going.
I don't know what reindeering is. I did not follow that. He said he came back in the game. 2 plays later, he caught a pass that converted a 3rd and 2.
I don't also understand, like, okay, you were hurt. Fine. I'm not going to pretend that I know what that's like, an injury on an NFL football field, but you can at least say, yeah, you know what? I probably shouldn't have walked all the way to the sideline and been sitting down when the play was finally over. Like that, if he had gone out of bounds and stood right there, I don't think anyone says anything.
Yeah,
Or goes down, but it just felt like, and I get it. I'm not saying he's not hurt. I'm not saying he didn't roll his ankle.
It's just a bad look.
It's just a bad look. And again, it's more of we've had more than a few bad looks when it comes to DJ Moore and Caleb Williams this year, that you're crazy to not think there's something there. Crazy.
So you just think there's so much smoke now?
There's so much smoke now. I don't know how you could see it any other way. And again, I want it to work out.
I don't see them ever arguing. In fact, I think their interactions have been, very friendly and pleasant. And if you watch them in training camp and stuff, there was no friction between them at all. There's
DJ's not Waddle. DJ's not an
chemistry.
alpha. Yeah, DJ's not an alpha.
But
that's the thing.
But he and I know. Look, this might be micromanaging, and everything's bad right now, and the sky's falling. But if you're DJ Moore, Caleb Williams is a rookie quarterback who has a ton of scrutiny, hopes, hype, everything on his shoulders. Just do as much as you can to help him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It's just going a little bit extra to help him out.
The visible frustration is not helping the situation.
Right. And of course, if the Bears were winning, none of this would matter. But guess what? They're losing, and they quit in the Arizona game, and it was a disaster. And it was a disaster on both sides of the football. The defense got gashed. I think the game broke on that field goal where we got the penalty. I think that's where it quit. And
yes.
the offense makes no sense. The route trees make no sense. Caleb, I think, has gotten back into a bad spot where he's trying to hit home runs and not taking the easy checkdowns because guys are open. Cole Kmet should be getting the ball 5 or 6 times a game. I don't know. I watched Monday Night Football, and the Tampa Bay Bucks lose Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame receiver. Chris Godwin is a Pro Bowl receiver.
And their third guy was out, too.
Yeah. Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Bucks, is scheming open Cade Otton on every single play. Like, why is that so hard? I don't get it.
You know, he was a candidate for this job.
Of course he was. Everyone. I mean, we had Bruce Arians in the office last week, and I was saying, like, this is the sliding doors moment. You should have been the coach.
Did Bruce Arians say that it wasn't the mock press conference that did him in?
No, he said it was other stuff. He said he essentially what he said was like, I came in and I was a little bit too forceful with my ideas, and I think it rubs some people the wrong way. But guess what? That's what I want out of a coach.
But you know what? That's the exact reason why Jim Harbaugh was never considered up there.
Correct. And
For
that's
that
why,
very reason.
And that's why if you go all the way back,
and it's a flawed
if you
thought.
go all the way back to Mark Trestman, I was sitting there when we hired Mark Trestman. I wanted Mike Shanahan to get hired. And we would never hire Mike Shanahan because that guy comes with Super Bowl rings and he's bigger than the organization. And they don't want to hire someone who's bigger than the organization ever since Ditka.
Well, and then that's always been the case. Like, they've always had the guy in the building as a candidate, and something gets in the way. Even, remember, they were going to hire Nick Saban. Yeah. Nick Saban just wanted too much money.
That was wasn't that Jerry Angelo?
Jerry Angelo, he was his buddy. You know, they came into football at the same time. You could argue, well, he didn't make it in Miami and for whatever. Nick Saban's a hell of a football coach. It was between Nick Saban and Lovie Smith, and Lovie turned out pretty good. But still, they wanted Lovie. They couldn't get him because of money. They had Bruce Arians versus Mark Trestman. They chose Mark Trestman. You know, go down the list. Ryan Pace did not want John Fox, But again, the guy that they hired as the advisor told him to hire John Fox.
Yep.
This goes on and on and on. They had Dan Quinn in the building versus Matt Eberflus.
And speaking of Dan
they chose
Quinn,
Matt Eberflus.
I think I sat here in this studio last year in January and I said, hire Jim Harbaugh and get out of the way.
Yes.
That's it. Like, I know that you might have to eat, a little bit of crow, and you might have to check your ego at the door to have someone like Jim Harbaugh come in and just run Hallis Hall, but that's what winning football would be.
Amen.
Have
you gotten your
Who do you want now?
Wait, I want to know if
I
you
want
got.
Ben Johnson.
You're gonna get.
Everyone wants Ben Johnson. Why wouldn't you want Ben
Well,
Johnson?
it's funny because reading Brad Biggs' article today, it sounds like there may be a 5th year on that
saw
Eberflus
that.
contract
Awesome.
instead of just 4.
Awesome.
Big deal.
Well,
Awesome.
I'm with you there, but if history does serve
BFD.
as the prediction for the future, they don't eat salaries very frequently.
Is there any chance that two things? One, is there any chance that Matt Eberflus gets fired in the middle of the season? No, they've never done it.
I think it's unlikely, but I
if
think
they
with,
lose this
I,
week?
I
Yeah,
think
they
I
lose
think,
this week.
I think if Kevin Warren, I think that element changes the dynamic maybe a little bit. I would think it's at least a little bit more likely that would be on the table more so than it ever was in the past.
What the hell is Kevin Warren even doing? You're supposed to
Don't
give us a
know.
new stadium. Where's the stadium? Come on, Kevin, we're waiting. I'm just so frustrated. It just
Did you
feels
get
like
your
we're
tattoo
back.
yet?
No, I need to get a tattoo. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm just so frustrated. It feels like we're back in the
Get
exact
a
same
kidney
cycle.
stone. Get 4 kidney stones. Say, and write something about the command. Like Matt Eberflus gave me these.
Yeah, just get like
And instead of the
tattoo
teardrops,
kidney stones
Yeah.
on
You
your
know how
I
the
should.
prisoners when
Oh,
they kill
yeah.
people they have the
Yeah.
teardrops. You should have kidney stones coming from your ding dong.
Everything stinks.
from your ding dong.
Yeah, well that's
You
where it
wanna-
comes out
you
of,
wanna
right?
get a
It's-
ding dong tattoo.
No.
heck?
But down there, you could put it down there.
I don't want to do that. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm miserable. It's just
Well, how
the
much would
same
it
old
take you to
thing.
get a penis tattoo?
on my penis?
Yeah, like
A
That'd be
tattoo of a
redundant.
penis on your penis.
Yeah. It'd be a small tattoo, not a lot of surface area. Dude, no price.
Would you ever-
No price. What are you asking me?
would you
No
ever
price.
make a bet that would result in that potentially?
No price. I'm just miserable. Everything stinks.
What were we saying though again about Ben? We were talking about Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, yeah, I want Ben Johnson. Why wouldn't you want him? Get an offensive guy who can be with Caleb. And Ben Johnson even said he's like, when I want to be a head coach that calls plays.
It sounds like
you-
the Bears fans are dreaming of the combo of Ben Johnson and Robert Saleh.
Great.
Big Cat's gonna be texting you and posting we're back once the Bears take a
I know he will.
17-3 lead into the half on Sunday.
But I'm not going to feel it. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you
I
will.
think they might lose this game. I really might. I really think they could lose this
What's
game.
the number?
It's 7. I think that there's a quit factor that's going on at Hallis Hall right now.
Well, now you asked me the question. If there is ever a time that I would think that they would reverse course from what has been their tendency and actually make a move on a coach in the middle of the season, if you let the Patriots come to town
Yeah.
and beat you,
Yeah.
then I think that's even more on the table. It probably would be the coup de grace, isn't that what would it be? Would be a loss to the Packers in
Don't have
decisive
Miller say
fashion.
that.
I know.
He's
The following day.
I know that
or
was the
following
worst
week.
part about Sunday. We couldn't even enjoy the Packers getting killed by the Lions.
Not even
I,
for a
I
second.
wanted to
You
enjoy
really look and sound down. I don't know
that.
if it's
down.
the medication
Oh,
that
no,
you're taking.
I'm down. It's bad. I just feel like we're in the exact same spot, and I don't know how I got back here, but we're back here.
Abdallah said it best. He said, "This is the game where you have nothing to gain and everything to lose."
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
If you win, it's no big deal. You should have won. If you lose, you lost everything.
Yeah. And I'm at the point now where it's like, is it the worst thing to lose everything if it means that we can start cleaning house and get? That's the other thing is like, if you know you're going to fire Matt Eberflus, just get on with
Do
it.
they know that up there?
And
I
start
would hope
interviewing
they-
Vrabel
Yes.
and Belichick and guys
Get
like
on
that.
with it. Well, Belichick would never get hired here. You know that.
no chance.
There's no chance. That's another one where it's like that guy is too big of a personality for for the organization.
2024 Bill Belichick's not really that enticing
No,
to
but
me.
Mike Vrabel would. I mean, Mike Vrabel would give you a competency that the Bears have not had in a long time.
And I'm with you. I would want to know who his offensive coordinator is,
Correct.
though, because
Correct.
like that's the most important thing going
Yes.
forward now from today, and it should have been all season long. Today forward, getting your quarterback right is the most important thing for the remainder of the season.
I'll tell you, if we hire Mike Vrabel, I'm going to be very compromised because he is a friend. So I will never say a bad word about him. Never, ever. You will never see
yeah,
me.
you will.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
won't. I will not.
It changed with
will
Cutler.
not.
Didn't it change with Cutler?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
I'll never say a
you-
bad word about Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't. I'll dance
go,
around it.
If they go 3-14, you definitely will.
No, if Mike Vrabel gets hired.
What you'll say is I love Mike Vrabel. He's a wonderful guy, but this isn't working. We need to move on.
But I think it would work because he's a good coach. He's a great coach. He did so much with
I need to know
bad
who your
Titans
OC
team.
is. Who's your OC?
Yeah, I don't know. Liam
Well, I
Cohen.
mean, we can't just say it. We
I
don't
don't know.
I got
I
to
don't
have an
know.
answer.
What, is he tight with Josh McDaniels? Would you want Josh McDaniels
I
as
don't
an
know.
OC?
He is a good OC. He's a bad head coach. Good OC.
Good OC when Tom Brady's your quarterback.
That's a fair point.
I think Mac Jones did well his first year under him. No, but I think his best year was with him.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have
Okay,
been.
let me dive into the Mac Jones.
No, he did. He made a pro. I mean, he was a pro.
And then he
Bowl,
left for the Raiders after that.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones went downhill.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this off the
on the
are we done
Jaguars.
with the Bears?
Yeah, sure.
I was thinking about this with the pub that the Saquon Barkley backwards hurdle got. What would you guys rather have on your a little would you rather for you? What would you rather have on your career highlight reel? The Saquon Barkley play or the Garrett Wilson play?
The Garrett Wilson play.
I don't know. The Saquon Barkley play was pretty damn cool.
It was.
Yeah, I
But
think
that
I'd
didn't
take
result in a
Saquon.
touchdown.
And the spin move before that was incredible,
No, it
too.
was
Two
fantastic.
highlights in one. And they did it in the Kelly
Can
Green
you even
jerseys.
walk backwards, much less jump
No,
like that?
No
I couldn't
chance. That was a dangerous play.
do that. It was.
He could get killed
Could've
doing
get
that. Yeah, he really could. Like you put
What
your
is
back
wrong with
to a
what is
defender.
wrong with their coach too?
I
Like,
know he's.
I mean,
he
they're
like
seven-
has
are they
mental
7-2?
problems. Yeah,
They're
He-
7-2, and I
They're
think
6-2, I
6-2, and
think. Yeah.
everyone in Philly wants him gone
because their roster's so good, and he does
he does weird
he
things.
does the wrong thing every time he's met with like a 50-50 proposition.